Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most epic and well-known stories of all time, the story of Noah and the Great Flood, found in Genesis chapters 6 through 10. It's a powerful narrative about judgment, faith, and a new beginning. Let's set the scene. Genesis chapter 6 describes a world that had become filled with wickedness. It says that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. It's a pretty bleak picture, but amidst all this, there was one man who stood out: Noah. The Bible says Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation, and he walked with God. Because of the widespread corruption, God decided to bring a flood to cleanse the earth. But he chose to save Noah and his family. God gave Noah some very specific instructions. Build a massive boat, an ark, out of gopher wood. The dimensions were huge, about 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. He was to cover it inside and out with pitch to make it waterproof. This was a monumental task, an incredible act of faith and obedience, especially when there was no sign of rain. God also commanded Noah to bring his wife, his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives into the ark. But they weren't going alone. God instructed him to bring pairs of every kind of animal, male and female, to repopulate the earth after the flood. Imagine the logistics of that. Gathering all those creatures, from the smallest insects to the largest land animals. Then the moment came. Noah, his family, and all the animals were safely inside the ark, and God himself shut the door. For 40 days and 40 nights, rain poured down from the heavens, and the waters of the deep burst forth. The flood waters rose until they covered the highest mountains. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils perished. Only Noah and those with him in the ark were saved. For 150 days, the water prevailed over the earth. It's hard to even imagine what it must have been like inside that ark, floating on a world completely submerged in water. But God remembered Noah. He sent a wind to blow over the earth, and the waters began to recede. Eventually, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Still, Noah had to be patient. He sent out a raven, which flew back and forth. Then he sent out a dove. The first time it returned, finding no place to land. A week later, he sent it out again, and this time it came back with a freshly plucked olive leaf in its beak, a sign that the waters were receding and life was returning. After another 7 days, he sent the dove out one last time, and it didn't return. The land was dry. Finally, after more than a year in the ark, God told Noah it was time to come out. Noah, his family, and all the animals stepped out onto a fresh new world. The first thing Noah did was build an altar and offer a sacrifice to God, an act of gratitude and worship. God was pleased and made a covenant, a solemn promise, with Noah and all living creatures. He promised never again to destroy all life with a flood. And as a sign of this everlasting covenant, he set a rainbow in the clouds. So every time we see a rainbow, it's a beautiful reminder of God's promise and faithfulness. The story ends with God blessing Noah and his sons, telling them to be fruitful and multiply and to fill the earth once more. It's a story of a second chance, a new beginning for all of humanity. What an incredible journey, from a world lost in darkness to a rainbow of hope. It's a testament to faith in the face of the impossible and the enduring grace of God. What part of this story stands out to you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more stories like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next one. Until next time, take care.